Hey, what's up guys? Captain TC here, coming at you with another Then and Now episode, and this time we're going over both the E-Leader 3K with the scope and no scope. But before we begin, this video will be taking quite some time, so please keep in mind about that, alright? So for now, let's talk about the E-Leader in general. The E-Leader has a very long range with very low charging speed and small mobility. As for the scope, well, you sacrifice your visibility with more range. That's what happens. Anyways, let's go over here to the info. A charger with a high capacity tank. By packing a lot of ink into each shot, it can strike from a great distance at cost of long charge time and ferocious ink consumption. Yeah, that's a bad down factor, but hey, you can get some good snipes from afar. Now, as for the E-Leader 3K scope's description, an E-Leader 3K fitted with the scope narrows your field of view, but you can acquire and snipe targets from extremely far away. If you can get that accurate shot, things will be good. Now we're going to go over here and test these weapons out without any damage up right here. If you try to do like a 99.9% charge, it goes at least max up to what, 98.6 right there. Each tap shot, well, tap shot's about 40 damage. Like so there. 3 tap shots equals 1 instant kill. Burst bombs, if you direct them, that's about 60 damage for each hit. Full charge goes up to 180. Keep that in mind if you want to get a beautiful snipe from afar. Now, over here with the E-Leader 3K, well, as you can see, it zooms in on your foes for you. And yeah, same damage when full charge, but when you try to minimize it. Now, here we have a video with me doing damage up without me going all the way up. So you can get like an 80% to 90% charge up. You can kill your foe instantly like that because of the damage up. But if they have defense up, well, it might take a little longer. Now over here with the E-Leader 3K, yeah, it's same thing. You'll see a major change once we hit Splatoon 2. Now over here, oh yeah, pure damage up. It usually takes about 66.6, yeah. 66.6 charge up to kill them if you're stacking up all damage. Is it necessary? Well, if you want to get them away faster and live longer, yeah, it's helpful. Now over here we're going to do a distance test. So this is the E-Leader with the scope, and this is the one without the scope. Here we go. And if you come up here, you can clearly tell that the scope has more range, but the regular non-scope variant doesn't. So let's go and give some gameplay over here in Turf 4. Alright, so I'm going to do a little narration about myself using the E-Leader without the scope. And let's just say that, well, if you stack up this amount of damage up I'm using right now, you can make quick, handy work. Well, if you can time your shots accurately and such like that. Like they said, the E-Leaders in general do take up a whole lot of ink, so you can save remains would be likely for you to keep your charges. If not, go with ink recovery. But in the end, time your shots correctly and you can make magic happen. As of now, the echolocator is lovely to help you pinpoint where enemies are coming from and give you an idea of what to expect. And that poor Carbon had to learn his lesson. Now the footage, all this footage, well, this current footage right here is going at like maybe half the speed faster. But as of that, it's the only way for me to get these videos through and to just continue more about what I want to discuss. In all honesty, I can't really say all the opinions for all E-Leaders and Chargers that use this weapon. But if you know how to keep your distance, shoot the enemy and time your shots correctly, and keep them at bay, you are a good Squiddo. And also, make sure you take the high ground. They usually say the higher you are, the better your chances are, whatever that case might be. I don't know what that whole acronym is about. But if you do think about it, snipers are better up top than down below, since you can get a better view of who's to kill from above. Now, with that being said, the burst bombs are very handy with dealing with any close counter foes that want to attack you from nearby. So get directs on them and then tap shot them to death. Well, I'll show you. You'll see what's gonna happen to one of these poor souls in a couple of seconds. But in the end, I think the E-Leader in this first game was fun to use. Just kind of wish that they brought the burst bombs back into Splatoon 2, you know? But anyways, it could have been better. Now, with that being said, we're going to transfer over and then have one of my friends discuss about the scope e-leader, and then we'll continue there. Alright, I have my good friend Maya here to help me out. She's playing under SD Salty, and these are what her notes were from playing the e-leader. Anyways, cue the little intro, blah 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 blah. So here's what Maya had to say. The e-leader scope was amazing for people with playstyles that don't involve charging in with reckless abandon. It's got range, damage, and if you play it quite right, well, a good amount of maneuverability. However, it does take time and practice to use it correctly, since you have to develop certain habits and practice getting good with aim. Well, there's been that whole area where people say that it's not, it's OP and stuff, but it really isn't OP. It just takes a lot of skill to master sniping. Don't worry, I can show you some of the e-leader footage of myself getting sniped from Maya. Anyways, taking to some points about what she said. It does, using this weapon, like all scoped weapons, you do have that factor that you have to keep in mind that when you zoom into the scope and all you're looking through your scope, you're limiting your visibility about what's happening around you, so you can get flanked from the left or the right, and you wouldn't see that coming until it's too late. And well, unfortunately, Splatoon 1 does not have an ouch function, so make sure you give a couple of booyahs to let others know. Now, continuing on that fact, well, let's be honest, some people do, I do agree on the fact that damage up does make it, it does make it OP to an extent, but it helps chargers get the kills much faster, and, well, helps push the objective more regardless of that too, yeah? Now, some things to keep in mind that if you're going to be sniping with the e-leader, and you're using the scope, definitely. Keep an eye on what sensitivity setting you have it on. The higher the sensitivity, the more that it tends to read where you want to aim better and faster and stuff like that. So, if you're not careful with how fast you're aiming, well, you kind of done screwed yourself over. Trust me, there are many times where I miss my shots because I'm moving a bit too fast. Now, I think the e-leaders overall, but never mind what I was like. The e-leaders overall, they're fun to use if you know how to time your shots correctly, keep your distance, and all the other fun basic etiquette stuff like that. But as that's being said, chargers are meant to be very supportive, unless you're using a bamboozler. Bamboozlers are a total different story. But there's not a time where you should go offensive charger unless you have that Kraken special on you from the custom e-leader that's here in Splatoon 1. But in that time, well, just watch where you aim and be careful of other snipers. If you get out-snipped, well, out-snip and back once more. Alright, let's head over to Splatoon 2 to talk about the other e-leader and how it changed from here on out. Alright, now we are here in Splatoon 2, and we have the E-Leader 4K, which is different from the 3K back in Splatoon 1, but the range and chats are still similar. With its pressurized polymer construction, the E-Leader 4K has remarkably long range even for a charger. This model offers a more compact design than the original, which has cut into its range slightly, but it still has plenty of reach. Use the accompanying ink mines to cover your tracks, and then bring the Ink Storm special to expose anyone who dares hide from you. That's the E-Leader's description right there. Now let's check out the scope's description, which is somewhat similar. The E-Leader 4K scope delivers the long-range action of the 4K model with the scope added for accuracy. Though it boasts a shot range that beats almost every other charger, you'll want to be extra aware of your surroundings when scoping in. Yeah, that happens. Also, the scope configuration won't let you store a charge shot, so keep that in mind as you adjust to the feel of using a scope. Like the standard 4K, you'll get the ink mines and the ink storm to help cover the battlefield while you zoom in and splat unsuspecting foes. So yeah, it's a good ranged weapon. But let's go over here to little stats here. You can see me doing the full charge there, which held in for what, a good 10 seconds, like not 10 seconds, but a good, what, I want to say like 66.6 seconds. It runs out faster than your regular splat charger, and then you can see me trying to fail getting that one dude up there trying to practice charge shooting. But like the regular ones, oh, speaking of which, I gotta talk to y'all about the fact that since we don't have damage up, yeah, you can no longer depend on damage up for your sniping needs for that. If you want an instant kill, you have to get a full shot. So let's just show off what's happening. Full charge there, full shot there, and hold on. Minimal shot there, maxes out at 76.1. And here's the ink storm to showcase that. Ink mines, they are like mini echolocators. Now we'll go over here for range testing. That's the E-liter with the scope. And we'll switch on over to wherever the hell I stuck the regular E-liter. There you are. And we're going to shimmy our way over here just to show the range difference while backed up on this wall. Now compared to Splatoon, the range of them seem to be a little bit even shorter compared to Splatoon 1, but then again they made the maps much smaller. So yeah, let's take it to Turf War and showcase some of the fun capabilities with what these weapons have to offer. Yeah? Now rambling about the E-liter 4K in Splatoon 2, well, I don't know. I'm not sure there's that big of a range difference, but the maps definitely do feel smaller when using this weapon. Also, there's no burst bombs with it. I cry because I can't defend myself if someone tries to sneak around. But then again, the ink mines sometimes come in handy to help alert you when foes are sneaking around to try to pick your six off, you know? But anyways, the ink storm that comes with the E-liter, frankly, I would prefer to splashdown just to tell them, hey, if you want to mess with me, bug off, you know? Jokes aside, my friend and I have been chatting about imagining them making a very, like, I don't know, if Sheldon were to have a custom E-liter, well, not a custom E-liter, but a Sheldon's pick version of an E-liter customized with burst bombs and splashdown. Sounds a bit OP, but then again, it would come in handy, you know? Now, as for the E-liter itself, in my opinion, I personally, well, it's not one of the go-to weapons I would use, but it's worth a shot if you know how to keep your distance and shoot away from afar. But just storing your charge shot, it can come in handy, but that sucker lasts like what, maybe even 2/3 of a second. Yeah, you would think that it'd be useful, but then again, you have a big heavy weapon on your back, and you really can't do much with it with trying to outswim your opponents. But that's why they say mobility is key and mobility is life. The one thing that I do know that stresses myself out as an ex-charger is the fact that sometimes I don't think it's about the weapons in general, but the servers tend to be a little bit iffy with me trying to time my shots right, and people move out at the last second. Like, come on, that's I should have hit you. But sometimes they get out of the way much quicker than usual. But ink consumption on this sucker, yeah, it's big. If you're not careful with it, well, you could probably scooch over yourself, you know. Anyways, if you're going to be sniping and using the E-liter 4K, make sure you stick your ink mines all around the base, just so that way you can protect yourself from anyone suspicious that would try to get you, you know. Now, while the results of myself screwing around go through, let's transfer over and have Maya come in and have her opinion about it, alright? Alright, Squid Kids. Maya has a very long opinion about what has happened with the Chargers in general, so be in mind that this might take a little bit for me to speak. So Maya, what are your opinions about the charges here in Splatoon 2? First off, why the range nerf? The whole point of a sniper range. Why would you take away, especially when everything else got a range buff? Just why? Look at the Tri-Slosher, honestly, I can't blame her for that. Also, was it really necessary to give all sniper subs and specials that are useless as heck? Stingray? Ink Mines? Really? Retains charge is dumb, and in no way does it make up for the atrocities committed against snipers, and it doesn't even cover half of the roster. The new maps aren't helping either. There's too many flank routes and no actual good places to perch on. Stop turning everything to pseudo squiffer, Nintendo. And where's the damage up at? You're really gonna pile all these nerfs on us and then take away the ability that could have potentially fixed all these problems? Eesh. Alright, so let me go ahead and address some points that she does have some things to prove. One, yeah, the maps do feel kind of small. And the only issue I have with the small maps like this, like, look at the reef. Yeah, there's many flanking points that she does have to point out, but then again, I would think that Nintendo wants to train you to make you even more aware of your surroundings to help you realize, oh hey, there's more than one area to keep an eye on, you know? And then let me see what else she stated. Damage up, well, the only way damage up would help is, well, can you pick your foes quicker than the speed of sound? Well, speed of light, I don't know what the case might be, yeah? Joking aside, yeah, they definitely did do a lot of stuff that, well, frankly, I personally think that the little retaining charge is kind of useful from time to time. Please don't hurt me on that. You can snipe me later in Splatoon 1 if that'll help you cool your salts down. But when you do have that retained charge, even though it lasts for like not even a second using the non-scope D leaders, it does help them move quickly away to one side if there's a spot where you need to focus up and put some pressure on, you know? And then, well, damage up. I think the whole reason why they took damage up, well, they took damage up out and defense up, well, have you not seen or heard of the triple pure defense up, damage up Luna? If not, well, I can't really tell you about that in Splatoon 1. Anyways, yeah, I can see why you consider the pseudo squiffer since, well, what am I kidding? I'm not a charger main, so I really don't have the technical right to say how to play your game, but in all honesty, you do have to move forward and push through whatever obstacles you'll face. It's life in general, nothing else you can do, honestly. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and start ending this video off, yeah? So, if you guys enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And the next episode we're doing is going to be on the Tri-Slosher. Yeah, that's going to be fun. We'll do the Tri-Slosher, and then after the Tri-Slosher, well, the poll stated that the Rapid Blaster was the last weapon to get chosen, so that will be the episode to go on to afterwards. Now, with that being in mind, well, let me see how long, because this thing is like double the speed, right? Yeah, it's double the speed. So, there's going to be a little blooper reel of myself stumbling and mumbling, like, what was I going to do here and stuff like that, so I hope you guys enjoy that little segment. And I also want to give a big special thank you to Maya for helping me make this video. Even though I'm pretty sure she's still salty and sad about her E-Leader wafer being clipped away at her arm, you know. Well, I guess sometimes you can't roll with, not roll with the punches, damn it. Sometimes you just gotta deal with the changes and keep moving forward. I know I say that phrase way too often, but yeah. It's the only way to get better at heart, yeah? Anyways, top left corner will be some random video, bottom right, subscribe to the channel, and then in the top right will be a little playlist of the current then and now videos I have done so far. Which only means the Splattershot Jr. and this video, which took way too long to make. Anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the blooper reel coming up. I did it again! There, I can finally hit that button. And now let's show off the difference between this and its bigger, longer range ability. Did I miss it? Oh, I already passed it. Whoops. Here you are. Let me just go ahead and do that. We'll show off that how much damage I have full charge. Go over here and show how much it is have when you do a barrage shot instead of a full shot. Do a barrage charge without charging all the way up. Because damage up is no longer the thing. We'll show that. We'll stick it in line to show how much damage that does. Show how many tap shots it takes.